So this is, of course, Tape to Tape, the excellent hockey roguelites. Just been an absolute obsession of mine, and we're going to jump on into a brand new campaign mode here. I'll give you the full high efforts, live commentary, of course, and for our first team today, we're going to be using the Chell Squad. Now, what is unique about the Chell Squad? Well, offsides and manual poke check. I think manual poke check is very important for success, and offsides is a different and slower and more natural way to play the game of hockey. Let's get on into it. All right, so veteran is the difficulty target here today. We got timer, score. We'll play with timer. And let's get into it, guys. Let's do it. Select a superstar. Okay, so we have our McShaggy variant. And then we have Ma Fulton. Okay, Ma Fulton with decent speed, pretty poor other stats. We have Mr. Brad Bird. I used him in my last run. I mean, he looks like Austin Matthews for sure. He is good. I mean, he's very good. Look at his stats. But the more power-ups you get on him, the weaker he becomes. So Kelly Jelly, diminutive in size, high speed, high accuracy, low shot or zero shot power, zero checking. It's kind of all about speed. I mean, I think I would probably choose Brad Bird again here. So we have McShaggy. His name is Annual McShaggy. So maybe he comes around once a year, number 99. Of course, large in size. And he's got speed, accuracy, shot power that's kind of low, checking that's good, as you typically find with Mr. McShaggy. Now, Brad Bird, medium-sized character, but, you know, is a good scoring threat. Most likely a solution for the forward group. Now, next up, we have Mr. Boring Dude. So he's so boring, but he's also on a hot streak here. So he's got very good stats. In fact, he's got the best stats on the team. Let's go ahead and add Mr. Boring Dude. We're going to try hard for a win here. For our bench slot, I think adding Mark Bench, you know, on the bench where he belongs, so he can just train that overall all run long. We can bust him out in maybe Chapter 3 if we get there, and have a pretty prolific and good player. That would be awesome. Maurice Castellet is great on the blue line, given he has 71 checking. Let's throw him out there. And then we have the likes of Kowalski. I mean, I have to decide, do I want Annual McShaggy in the forward group or on the blue line? It kind of feels like maybe we need some forward help. Let's see who else is here. I mean, Stu Stumple is great, because when he gets injured, he doesn't actually get injured. I think Boring Dude can probably play center. So let's grab Mr. Stu Stumple. And we'll probably do McShaggy on the blue line. Let's begin the run. All right, so we have a strong relic to begin the run with, but let's go ahead and get our line set. So, Stu Stumple, Boring Dude is center. He's got good speed, can facilitate the puck. He'll have Brad Bird on his wing, no pun intended, and then Stu Stumple probably on the other wing. We'll go with the blue line of Castellet and McShaggy, our two checking phenomenons. Absolutely. Mark Bench on the bench, training the overall is where we want him. We're going to go ahead and save up. Let's see what kind of relic we get. Every player grows. How about that? Wearer gets plus 30 checking of the golden helmets. That is nice. Gain plus 10 speed after every player grows is a terrific start. And then we have Cold Turkey, which is when not having possession of the puck for, 25 seconds, you get enraged. Or we have Charge Shot. I mean, this is kind of hard to use, but it's serviceable, right? It's lethal if you can pull it off. I think I want to go Cold Turkey. We can throw that on somebody. Enraged is nice because it, enables auto-checking and increased speed. All right, let's go. In versus the Spartans and a couple of traffic cones. Shouldn't be that big of a deal. But, I mean, if I'm being completely transparent, we certainly have lost against the Spartans before. So Castellet's going to handle it, and of course, offsides is in effect. If you don't know what that means, it means the puck has to cross the blue line first. So, before any player does on my team. And then we can gain zone entry, okay? And then you can start your offense. So what it forces you to do is really focus on entering the zone, gaining the zone, if you will, as they say in hockey terms, okay? And you're going to see this unfold against, I guess better opposition than the Spartans, but, Brad Bird gets it started there. Austin Matthews. And we have Cold Turkey either on Brad Bird, which we don't want to throw it on because he's got that little trench coat thing. Got Boring Dude or Maurice Castellet. And Castellet should be just fine, I guess, for not having possession of the puck for 20 seconds. Let's throw it on Castellet. That's completely fine. And we got that bridge. Hey, just finished watching the first period of Montreal versus Buffalo, and now I'm going to watch more Tape to Tape madness. That's absolutely right. That's absolutely right. Ciphers. Says the cone is too strong. The cone is often too strong. It blocks passes really good. But in versus the Meatballs, Chloe Crockett and company. Let's take it to him here, boys. Mr. McShaggy, we've got Boring Dude on a hot streak. Got a good, tough blue line with Cassoulet and McShaggy. And let's just start things off good here, man. All right, Brad Bird enters the zone. He's going to throw it over. Stu Stumple gets it, and now we have the zone. Boring Dude in close with the shots. Nothing. Back behind the net to Brad Bird. Stu Stumple up, and that's intercepted. Poke check, though, by McShaggy. Great poke check. And he maintains possession. Up to Stu Stumple with a shot. Nothing. Chloe Crockett gets decked, and it looks like they have Willie Bree. All right, manual poke check employed there, and Boring Dude chases down the puck. Gets it. And we are just throwing bodies here, boys. We are throwing bodies. Brad Bird gains entry. And into the zone we go. One-on-one opportunity. How about that? Brad Bird from a tight angle. Goal. That's right. All right, Stu Stumple gets it. And Boring Dude looking to gain entry. That's where that speed really comes in handy. And he had Brad Bird. He missed him. Poke check. All right, McShaggy. Brad Bird gains entry. He's going to throw it, and McShaggy with the shot. Of course, he's XL size now because of that buff that we got in the opening frame. He's going to hit Boring Dude, streaking in, using some speed to outpace Willie Bree, but nothing. And back the other way with the stretch pass game, Adam Gravy gets absolutely clocked. And Boring Dude finds the outlet pass. Brad Bird in all alone. The prolific scorer that he is. Can do some great things. McShaggy clocks him, and, time on attack has been very, very good for the good guys here today. Brad Bird throws it from the wall. Boring Dude in tight. Nothing. Stu Stumple. Round to Brad Bird, and you bet. Count it, baby. Count it. All right, Stu Stumple just rumbling a little bit. All right, that's an injury right there to Mr. Wiener. Adam Gravy, man, we are just throwing the body, and you love to see it. Cassoulet tries to hit a streaking Boring Dude, but Willie Bree simply finds out. Stu Stumple back the other way. Here we go. Another Brad Bird and hat trick, man. Throw those hats. Let's go. Throw the hats. Boring Dude. Boring Dude just facilitating the puck like we need him to. Stu Stumple gains entry. And here we go. Another Brad Bird looking for number 4. McShaggy with the shot. Hits a pipe. And Cassoulet with the great open ice check. And that's a very eventful period number 1. The Chell Squad 3, Meatballs 0. And you absolutely bet. Check this out. Bam. Came up with that too. You gotta love it, folks. You gotta love it. 39 seconds on attack compared to just 4 seconds. That right there is the money stats. We are living in the offensive zone. We are throwing pucks on net, and they got no answer. 12 hits too. The physicality is far too much for these guys. Cassoulet is gonna be patient with it. Stu Stumple gets it. We got Boring Dude in the center of the ice. Nothing, and Owen gets poke checked by Stu Stumple. Coming back the other way. Stu Stumple knifing through. Hits Boring Dude for a shot. Once deflected off the skate of Chloe Crockett and back down to the Butcher, who's been pretty quiet this game. Hasn't really, I don't even think he's faced a shot on goal. Cassoulet is going to throw it off the wall. Boring Dude looking for some space. McShaggy from the circle, well, beyond the circle. And back the other way, all the way back down the ice. Comes the puck. And there was a chase for it. Adam Gravy gets it. And then they give up the first shot on goal here in the second period, which is kind of crazy. Cassoulet comes up with the loose puck. And Stu Stumble with some space. Streaking in. Big shot there, but it's into the pads of Cassettes. And back the other way coming, the Meatballs. Adam Gravy gets decked. And Boring Dude, here we go. Hits Stumple. Center ice. Here we go. He's got Cassoulet. Never mind, it's Boring Dude. The shot. Nothing. And Gravy gets absolutely decked. And maybe even a broken femur on that one. Could hear a crunch from here. All right, McShaggy coming up and just throwing the body. Chloe Crockett gets decked. We need a 4-goal lead here. Stu Stumple receives it. Brad Bird in the slot. Nothing. Boring Dude tries to clean up the rebound. A juicy rebound indeed. And there's that manual poke check right there. He gets just ragdolled into the wall. And back the other way comes Stu Stumple with the shots. Kind of fading away. Cassette covers it up. And McShaggy. Just an aggressive play on defense. Cassoulet. Boring Dude flips it over. Looking for some space. And throws it up into the skates of Crockett, who recovers it. And then back down the ice goes the puck. McShaggy is getting physical. Using that long stick. And the meatballs are punchless in this one, folks. Absolutely nothing. Great showing by the Butcher, but great showing by just the overall defensive efforts and performance. And of course, the blue line. Really bringing that physical game with their XL size. Let's hit that goal button. Absolutely. 102 to 18 on attack. 15 shots, 23 hits. Money stats. 3 goals for Mr. Brad Bird. Hopefully the beginning of, many successful offensive campaigns. Let's go. We got Zeppelin. I miss Drunka Bobo. Well, hey, man, the beer fairy does come every $30. Just FYI, the beer fairy definitely does. We got passing rule, coach's favorite, or rebound magnets. I like this on a blue liner. Actually, no, I like this on, well, Brad Bird would benefit from this. I think Mark Bench is going to be a secret weapon eventually. I don't want to load up Brad Bird with too many power-ups. Stu Stumple is actively playing. He's a forward. Let's throw it to him. Hey, we got Newman the Crazy One. What's up, man? What's up, brother? Hey, team, I'm here, but at work. I'll be listening and won't be able to chat much. Hey, that's all good, man. You allow me to keep you entertained while at work. Absolutely, brother. Hey, so, Bridge, who ended up winning Montreal versus Buffalo? And are you rooting for one or the other? We got a chaos upgrade for Mr. Boring Dude. So glass cannon, 50% odds of critical shots. If your shot is not critical, break your stick. Or cursed schedule, gain 30 overall in the first period, minus 50 otherwise. I say we don't mess with a good thing here. I mean, you could maybe make the case for glass cannon, but if his stick is breaking, I think I'm good skipping by this. There are some good chaos upgrades though. Well, let's go ahead and let's see. Looking forward, we have 2 team upgrades. Then, of course, a bout with Marty Brodeur and the Penitents. Blade Master, we got a very large squad, right? Everybody's large or extra large, which is great. I think you take the team upgrade and you target speed. And in versus the Calaveras, who got Bear Grohl, we got Rory McShaggy, not Chloe Crockett, Charlotte Chapstick, that is. Got Carlos Chico, Stevie Lauder. Right, the old stomping crew in the Puck, Lumber, and Stuff Arena. Hockey action gets underway. Let's go. Boring Dude. Tries to shake out the big man, and he does. He's got Brad Bird in the slot. And you can see that magnetized stick, the effectiveness of that. Throws it into Boring Dude with a shot. Bear Grohl gets checked off the puck, surprisingly. And Annual McShaggy takes out his cousin or brother or whomever the relationship tree is. Oh, let's go. It's Stu Stumple. And Bear Grohl, he's almost too big. Very susceptible to poke checks. What I like about the manual poke check is it gives smaller players an option to, jar the puck loose. Stevie Lauder gets absolutely decked. And Castellet, not known for his offense, trying to unfurl a shot. Nothing. Carlos Chicos comes up with it. And then he gets absolutely just pulverized. We're just pulverizing these guys. Annual McShaggy gets put down in the neutral zone by the big man, and that's what he's there for. That's what he does. Not to mention, he's got a crazy powerful shot. Castellet, though, streaking. He's got Brad Bird. Neutral ice. Offsides is waved off, and that one goes bouncing away from the Butcher. Almost had him. Castellet. Annual McShaggy with the shot. Nothing. Carlos Chicos gets dumped in the neutral zone, and back comes the big man, Dave Grohl, as I like to call him. His name is Bear, but I call him Dave. Brad Bird. He's got men draped all over him, and it looks like Offsides. Croc's off there. Somebody's across the line. It was Castellet. All right, Brad Bird setting it up again. Too much speed by Mr. Bird. And he hits a stick on the ice. Some lumber. We're still seeking that first goal. Carlos Chicos can't gain the zone. Boring Dude is just fighting for it. And a big shot there. Juicy rebound given up by the Butcher. And it's on the boards. The sturdy body of Carlos Chicos kind of holding up a little bit. And on the backhand from neutral ice is how period number 1 ends. No goals to speak of, but 6 shots, 13 hits, 30 seconds to 13 on attack. We simply just have to set up our offense. Let's go, boys. We've got Nathan. What's up, Nathan? Nathan says, go Avalanche. Yeah. We got a tough draw, man. I'm a Wild fan. We got a tough draw with the Avalanche. Got a real tough draw. The series is either continuing or over tomorrow, in my opinion. If we go down 3 games to the Avs, we're toast. Boring dude from the slots. He gets roughed up a little bit. Annual McShaggy comes up with it, and then a great poke check there by Brad Bird. Keeps this one in our possession. Annual McShaggy peels himself up off the ice, and then Stu Stumple just gets a little too far over the line. Boring dude, though. Feeds it up to Brad Bird, trying to set up some momentum. Stu Stumple in the slot. Nothing. Rebound stick on the backhand. And it looks like his own stick might have prevented a goal there. It beat him 5-hole. And then just got jarred out by the magnet. Carlos Chicos with a shot. And Castellet, how about that? Puts down the big man. And we're going back the other way with some odd numbers. Odd man rush. Stu Stumple throws it, though. Offsides waved off. And Boring Dude comes up with it. Just grinding. Grinding for space here. Stu Stumple on the backhand. A great scoring opportunity. But nothing. Roy McShaggy banging bodies. Stevie Lauder gains the zone, but not much. Charlotte Chapstick from the wall. A shot. Nothing, and McShaggy coming back the other way. He's got players draped all over him. Bear Grohl with the pass. And a glove save by the Butcher. An excellent save. Castellet coming with some speed, but it's offsides. And you see how it slows you down, right? You just... The way I've always played tape to tape is just go, 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 but the offside slows you down big time. All right, so that one's thrown up. Not sure what that was trying to be. Maybe a centering pass of some sort. But with offsides in effect, no good. And Brad Bird gains the zone. Here we go. Boring Dude in the slot. Boring Dude gets it done. Slaps it home. That's a big goal late in the game. And Bear Grohl has been kind of a menace with his size. Huge poke check there by Castellet. We got a race for it. Castellet coming around the back of the net. Hits Stu Stumple. Into Brad Bird. Into McShaggy with the shot. McShaggy with another shot. Huge pressure being put on by the good guys, and that's all it took is one goal. And you love to see it. 1-0. Calaveras fall on just 5 shots. Beautiful. All right, so select a relic. Your big and XL players get plus 15 overall. That is a no-brainer. Our entire team is large or extra large. Absolutely beautiful. So let's take another team training opportunity. Checking more speed, I think so. And then in versus the aggressive and sturdy Prisoners Hockey Club. These guys should be interesting with offsides in effect, because they already make it tough enough to enter the zone as is with, you know, that wet towel attack, and then they're sturdy, right? They're hard to check. So let's see what kind of luck we have. Let's go, boys. Hey, we got the Pineapple Dad in the house. What's up, man? It is good to see you in chats. Great to see you, brother. All right, so here we go. It begins with Boring Dude at the center ice. Gets it down to Brad Bird. We're going to set this up slowly. Boring Dude, yep, and there's that towel attack we sort of talked about pregame. And then Fulton just comes by 3 of my players and unfurls a shot on the Butcher. Not good. Stu Stumple gains entry. And we're going to find that hard to do all game long. Great poke check there by Boring Dude. McShaggy comes up with it. Hits Boring Dude, streaking down the wing. Here we go. On the backhand, and scores on the Hall of Famer, who went for the stick throw instead of, you know, I guess, traditional defense in between the pipes there. Brad Bird is getting circles around him, trying to avoid. And Fulton in all alone on the Butcher, who gobbles that one up. And it's a good thing that he did. Boring Dude tries to just penetrate the zone. Can't quite do it. Matt Fulton all over him. And here we go. Castellet is going to set up the offense. Hits Brad Bird, who's got some space. Brad Bird gets in tights. But it's fought off by the Hall of Famer. And Fulton back the other way. Brad Bird, here we go. Got a race to the puck. Matt Fulton gets absolutely decked. We got a poke check on the wall. Nothing. And Stu Stumple looking for some space. Gives some support to the Butcher. Can't give up that rebound, boys. We got to secure it. And Brad Bird coming back the other way with some speed. Stu Stumple in the slot. How about that? Stu Stumple Accuracy on full display there. It's a 2-0 advantage. Good guys. Annual McShaggy. This can't quite fight off the whip attack, can he? But he's getting physical in the corner, and here we go. Bro-Doer fights that one off. And he's checking these guys. Looks like we're big enough to kind of rumble with them a little bit. Brad Bird comes up with this one, and we're going to go back the other way and set up the offense. Let's see it. Castellet. Throw it across, neutralized to Boring Dude. And Stu Stumble is actually in the offensive zone, so that should have been offsides, but they don't call it. Looks like the refs didn't see it. Throws it up to Castellet, who throws it up. Little dump and chase. Brad Bird with a shot from the slots, and you absolutely bet Stu Stumble is injured, which is great for him. That is great. It's great news. He's got his eyes gouged out, his big old sunglasses on, and it's 3-0. These guys, these guys are pretty tough. Like, they can play you pretty true up, but I think with what we're seeing here, size definitely counts against these guys. If you have the size and the sturdiness, I think you can push them around a little bit. And the first period ends with a shot from the neutral zone from Ma Fulton. 7 shots to 5, 3 goals to 0. Most importantly, the hockey team with the great advantage. And, you know, scoring on the Hall of Famer Marty is tough to do, but Brad Bird, Boring Dude, and Stu Stumble register goals. Let's go. All right, here we go. Castellet. Gonna be a little patient and set it up. It's gonna hit Brad Bird on the wing. Here we go. Boring Dude gets stick thrown. And then Stu Stumble misses the check altogether. But great sticks there in the defensive zone. Has it going back the other way. McShaggy's gonna throw it. Got Stu Stumble. Boring Dude looking to breach the zone, and he does for a moment. And now there's a breakaway opportunity. Tough opportunity there. Castellet recovers on defense, and Boring Dude coming in with a great deal of speed. Throws it to Brad Bird from across the way. Right, a pass right across the crease. But nothing. Annual McShaggy breaks his stick and then gets dumped. And Ma Fulton deploys that towel, as she so often does. Looks like she's hurt her shoulder. And coming back the other way is one of the Fulton brothers. There's Averill, there's Jack, there's all kinds of them. McShaggy's just going to throw it on net. We live to see another day. McShaggy with a big one-timer blast from the circle, nothing. And Castellet gets deked out of his skates, but then comes up with it and then throws it to the corner to Bro-Doer. Brad Bird checking Ma Fulton. Great poke check there by McShaggy to save a shot opportunity. And Stu Stumble is battling behind the net. Misses it. And going back the other way is Brad Bird with speed, carving through the neutral zone. Boring Dude hits some lumber. Man, the lumber on the ice is really obstructive. It really, truly is. Great poke check there. And Castellet throws it up to Boring Dude. Boring Dude with the shot. How about that? Gets it done in... Okay, 5-goal lead for Elite Games. Okay, so we need one more to wrap this thing up early. A great shot there by Boring Dude. You love to see it. Brad Bird a little discombobulated with his zone entry. But what do you know? The puck ends up on a stick yet again. Stu Stumble gains entry. Throws it up to Boring Dude. Men draped all over him. Traffic. Over to Castellet. Down to Boring Dude. Over to McShaggy. I mean, he's got presence. He's got body size, but I guess he can't take on their entire team. He's going to throw it to Brad Bird, who gains entry. And then gets hit by a stick throw. The goaltender throwing the stick. It's pretty funny if you think about it. All right, Boring Dude coming back the other way. Maybe one final rush. Ma Fulton gets sent to the nether realm. Here we go. Castellet from the blue line with the shot. Ends up on the stick of one of the Fulton brothers. Stu Stumble injured for another 4 games, which is great news for us. Means he's got improved accuracy. 13 shots to 8, 4 goals to 0. Great stuff here, boys. All right, Boring Dude wins the draw. Back to Stu Stumble. Over to Castellet. Hits Boring Dude. An entry. Got to get entry here. All right, up to Brad Bird. Gets entry for the Boring Dude who's streaking through, and Bro-Doer just robbed him. It was a great scoring opportunity by Mr. Dude. Brad Bird throws it to Stu Stumble. Over to Boring Dude, knifing through the neutral zone. And here we go. Brad Bird was open, but he got knocked off his spots. Do believe you call that interference in normal hockey, but not in tape-to-tape. All right, Brad Bird, how about that? With critical authority, gets it done for his second of the game and the game-winning goal. You love to see that. We got Richard Jorgan in the house. What's up, man? Good to see you, Richard. You dismissed the notification, man. You got to hit that bell. You guys got to hit the bell. That'll tell you every time when your boy's live. Absolutely. And we're moving on to Chapter 2. And first, we have a power-up. So, Generous Domino gained 5% pass power for each assist. I like that on my center, Boring Dude, for sure. We have Pressure Cooker Level 2. Gain 30 overall, lasting until the player scores a goal. Resets after each game. Or Dribbler. I mean, this is incredible. But you want to throw it on a player that won't often score too many goals. You know what I mean? We rely upon both Brad Bird and Boring Dude. We rely on them both. We do. I think it transforms Boring Dude. Maybe he can just focus on being a facilitator versus a scorer. I think you throw it on Mr. Dude. Let's throw it on the dude. And in for a strong relic. Got strip 2 random bench warmers of all their stats and talents. Their stats are spread evenly among your other skaters and their talents something. Interesting. We have a random talent, ability, or relic is upgraded after each match. Goals scored in the last 45 seconds of the game are worth 2. That applies to us and the enemy. Let's go with this one. Absolutely. And it looks like we have a Butcher upgrade, or we could add a free agent. I'm good on my team overall. So let's go with a Butcher upgrade. Increases the distance the puck bounces off. Goaltender saves. Boom blocker. Knockout surrounding players. We got the Falcon. Goalie is faster to go pick up free pucks. Let's make the rebound fly faster. Rubbermaid. And in versus the Shooting Stars. Now these guys will counter us pretty well, our physical game, because they're hard to check. Of course. So, we'll see. We will see. Alright, Boring Dude wins the draw. And of course, we got the goofy tornado effect. How about that? Brad Bird right through the slot. Gets some early shots. Got Selcho Bob. Boring Dude, but some great support there for the Butcher. Brad Bird coming back the other way. Stu Stumple gains entry and then gets just flogged. Stumple comes up with it and the tornado catches up to him. It's creating an odd man rush. Jump shot there. And Castellet comes up with it. He's just going to throw it in. The goalie Twizzle comes up with it. Selcho Bob just doing circular things, and no, here we go. Gotta watch out for the tornado. All right, Stu Stumple gains entry. Here we go. Boring Dude with the big blast. Nothing. But a good scoring opportunity nonetheless. That one gets caught on some lumber. Here we go. McShaggy in all alone on the backhand. Tries it. Can't quite get it done. Up to Stu Stumple on the backhand. Wide open nets. You absolutely bet. That's a goal, baby. McShaggy getting physical. McTwist with a shot. Nothing. Boring Dude. Here we go. Odd man rush. Brad Bird in the slots. Nothing. But a great scoring opportunity. Got Selcho Bob who gets checked into oblivion. And then Maurice Castellet is in all alone on the backhand. He tries. Boring Dude from a tight angle. All right, great poke check there. Great stick by Stu Stumple. He's doing great things with that rebound stick. And in tight, how about that? Stu Stumple tries one way, goes back the other way. You absolutely bet goal. I mean, yeah, that's what we're talking about. Frozen with the shots. The Boring Dude gets laid down by Selcho Bob, who's in tight. Brad Bird with the shot. Or Brad Bird comes up with the rebound more like. And Stu Stumple back the other way, just flips it on nets. He's being chased by a typhoon. And a pretty productive first period there. 2-0, 12 shots to 6. 23 seconds on attack compared to 18. And Stu Stumple, really accuracy on display. He is the difference with 2 goals. Love to see it. Let's go. Boring dude. All right, misses that face-off. Well, loses it. And then Timmy Spinelli gets in nice and tight. Gets absolutely decked. Boring dude with the shots from a very tight angle. Selcho Bob draped all over him. Back the other way comes Selcho Bob. They're looking to gain entry. Castellet has something to say about it. Great check there by Annual McShaggy. Back the other way we go. Castellet gains entry into the zone. Flips it back to Boring Dude with the blast. Brad Bird from the slot, and that one leaks through. You absolutely bet. Goes off the skates of the goaltender and into the back of the net. 3-0. Good guys. Boring Dude with the shot. Players draped all over him. And Brad Bird getting physical behind the nets. Trying to keep it in the zone. He can't. And back to the neutral ice it goes. But Annual McShaggy is such a force to be reckoned with out there with his XL size. And you can see they're having great trouble getting zone entry, which is a benefit to us, obviously. Selcho Bob with the jump shot. The Butcher just simply catches that one with ease. This one's going over to Castellet, who throws it off the wall to try to gain some entry. Let's see, Selcho Bob gets checked. Sort of shakes it off. And back the other way comes Flipinski. To Spinelli. To Flipinski. Selcho Bob with the shot. And McShaggy comes up with the rebound. Going back the other way. Stu Stumple. He's got a typhoon on him. Throws it across the ice. Comes up empty, and back the other way come the Stars. With some numbers. Come up empty, though, and Castellet coming back to Brad Bird. We can't find any space whatsoever. So working the forecheck game, and it's working good for us. Stu Stumple, yep. Brad Bird gets knocked offsides. But McShaggy in all alone. Just a big blast right on the goaltender. Fights that one off, and this one's wrapped up at 3-0. Another great advantage for the Cheld squad. 17 shots to 9. 0 hits, right? So, despite all the physicality you saw there, pure violence, one could argue. Felonious things, maybe. 0 hits. That team's tough to check. And let's see, what do we have? So we have Growing Anger level 2, plus 7 checking permanently after winning a game. We have Puck Sponge or Slapshot immunity. I don't think you really have to think too hard about this. We could go Growing Anger probably on Castellet. Although if I look at my lineup, I mean, we are going to want Mark Bench, right? He's starting to snowball with 81 overall. I mean, he's got great stats. 107, 67, 68, 83. I mean, who do we consider taking out? Castellet? Do we go Stumple? Maybe Stumple when he is no longer injured. Makes sense. Do we consider Castellet? I mean, he's a good defensive force. He truly is. Maybe you go Stumple for Bench, because Bench is a forward anyways. So I think what we do is we throw Growing Anger level 2 on Castellet. Have him just taking him out. Have him our defensive ace. And Rebound Magnet level 2. So Rebound Magnet is upgraded. We have a Chaos upgrade for Mr. Mark Bench. The original stick, shooting on your teammates, injure them. Touching your teammates, make you knock out. I'm good on both of those. We have another wholesale upgrade for the team. Let's definitely do it. Accuracy, speed, or shot power. Let's go more speed. And in versus the Crusaders. Now, these guys are tough, man. Don't let the Prince beat you. We can't let the Prince beat us. Throwing in the bench is always an option. But let's see how we do just straight up. Let's go, Crusaders. Time to get wrecked. All right, good job by the Boring Dude. Gonna throw it up to Brad Bird, who gains entry. Kind of weaving his way and throws it to Boring Dude right in the slots. A great scoring area. And here's the Prince. Gotta make sure we check him into oblivion every time. Brad Bird in all alone. It was pretty exciting stuff. Stu Stumple, how about that? Gets it done. Just goes bottom left. Accuracy on full display. All right, Boring Dude corrals it, and here we go. Brad Bird from a tight angle. Great scoring angle. Then there was the Prince in all alone, but man, he gets double checked. And Castellet comes up with it to slow things down. Got Boring Dude. Gonna throw it back to McShaggy. And here we go. Brad Bird. Weaving his way through checks. Gonna find Stu Stumple, who hits a pipe. All right, Lancelov, a familiar face, and here we go. Stu Stumple in, all alone. On the backhand, hits that shield and gets deflected in. McShaggy pays for going for it. Boring Dude checks the Prince into oblivion in the neutral zone, and it's like somebody's offsides. All right, good job, boys. Way to check him. Check him harder next time. All right, Boring Dude has some space. Here we go. Tries to get it in tights. Glove side, nothing, and Brad Bird. Boring Dude from seemingly a goofy angle. And here they come in. Butcher with a glove save. Excellent job by the Butcher. And McShaggy and Castellet gonna bring it back up the ice with Brad Bird and company. How about this? Brad Bird gets bumped off his spot, and all the way back down the ice it goes. Butcher comes up with it. Boring Dude. Stu Stumple. Boring Dude, how about that? Won't be denied. Boring Dude. Excellent job by Mr. Dude. Boring Dude. He's got to make sure he's on sides. Here we go. Brad Bird. Oh, he got disrupted by the Prince, who then gets absolutely crushed. And that's how period number 1 wraps up an eventful one. A heavy-hitting one. 13 hits to 6, 7 shots to just 1. 38 seconds on attack, compared to 2. I mean, those stats are favorable and bode well. We simply just cannot let the Prince beat us. It's really that simple. We've got, I'll call you EE. What's up, EE? Good to see you, man. Just tuned in. What is Roguelite about this one? Well, so post-match, you will see. There's a whole bunch of options on a run base that you can upgrade your team with. And should I lose once, I'm done. Got a bunch of randomized options. You will certainly see. The roguelite elements of this game are awesome, and it's what keeps me coming back. It's like each run feels different. At its heart, this game truly is a hockey simulation. He's gonna beat us. Yep. So that's what happens when the Prince beats you. Looks like Stumple sustains another injury too. Obviously, their game plan is, let's get the Prince cooking. And they got him cooking right there. So just check him. Anybody can check him. So Stumple with the shot. Goes off some plate mail, seemingly. Boring Dude with the check. And Castellet coming back the other way with some speed. Gets in tight. Was behind the nets. Brad Bird with the shots. He got disrupted, man. And the Prince, that sounded like the clavicle. All right, let's go. McShaggy. From tight angle, gets poked off the stick by the goaltender. And Stu Stumple coming back the other way. We got a minute left. Boring Dude. Castellet flips it to Stumple, who's got some room. How about that? Stumple gets it done. A huge insurance goal here late in the second period, especially with the Prince lurking and gaining a little bit of momentum. Huge goal by Boring Dude. Excuse me, Stu Stumple. Got to give credit where credit is due. Brad Bird in the slot. Great shots. Another shot for Brad Bird from the slot. McShaggy's behind the net looking for a passing partner. Over to Castellet. Down to Brad Bird. Boring Dude leaves the zone. What are we doing, Boring Dude? Great stick there by Brad Bird. Recovers possession, and here we go. Brad Bird, Boring Dude, throws it over to Stu Stumple, who hits a pipe. And that's all she wrote with this one. 3-1 victory. Good guys. Hey, what's up, Tech Rabbit? Good to see you, man. Uh, 13 shots to 2, 19 hits to 17. Right, that team likes to bring the physicality. 3 assists for Mr. Bird. Huge goals by Stu Stumple in that one. For our relic, injuries always target opponent's hands, so that's shot power. In 15 checking, where golden helmet wearer gets plus 30 checking. Let's go with 15 checking. A team-wide buff is great. And we have the infirmary. What's upgrade? Double-decker. Okay, so Mark Bench's bonus just got upgraded. So now it's going to do 100%. So he's going to get plus 8 overall after every single game. But he's already just looking great. 123, 104, 73, 74 as his stat line. And now Stu Stumple has, well, he's got injured eyeballs and injured hands as well. So he's actually sporting some decent shot power these days, along with accuracy. Kind of poor checking. I mean, Mark Bench is a large character with 104 checking. Maybe this is the time you bust him out of the garage against the cultists. Because we got a tough matchup. I mean, the cultists are very prolific at scoring goals, and they steal your relics, which I don't appreciate. Let's go with the Chaos upgrade for Bench. Slot Cannon, you have 20% more chance of critical shot. Shot power minus 30. I mean, we can offset that. Glass Cannon, 20% more crit chance for Mr. Bench. Shot power down overall. I'm okay with that. We'll take it. Because it's going to keep snowballing as long as he stays training. And in versus the cultists. Let's go. Alright, so they stole Gigantism from me. Great. Alright, Boring Dude flips it, gets his own rebound. Stu Stumple. Back to Brad Bird. And then Boring Dude comes up with it in the scrum. Neutral zone again. Alright, Brad Bird gains entry. Tries to throw it across. Can't quite do so. And Castellet leaves the zone with it. Stu Stumple is frozen in the offensive zone. So we're going to have a perpetual offsides until he's unfrozen. So let's pass it around here, boys. Alright, Stumple, come on, man. Think about Wendy's spicy chicken. Let's go. Alright, Boring Dude. With the shots, glove save by Jealous the goaltender. How about this? Oh, the goaltender comes up with it. We're able to throw the body against these guys. And a shot by McShaggy. Great defense there by Brad Bird. Boring Dude coming in all alone. From a tight angle and gets it done. Lights the lamp. The go-ahead goal here early in the first period. Great effort there. Rory McShaggy does what he does best. Now they're coming with some numbers. Castellet checking his own guy. And Kelvin Dord. Behind the net. Castellet comes up with it. Great save there by Castellet. It's going to hit McShaggy. Throws it along the line. In the slots. Brad Bird and Boring to get dumped. Castellet throws it into the skates of the opposition. Back the other way. Come. The cultists. Brad Bird gets decked. And they get the equalizer right there. Rory McShaggy, that's what happens when you give up that juicy rebound, man. These guys are tough. Brad Bird in all alone, man. Oh, man, it was just such a good scoring opportunity. All right, I got to be more responsible with the puck. Great sliding save there by the Butcher. Keeps us in this one, and let's go. Throws it along the line. Just can't quite gain entry against these guys. All right, Boring Dude. Up to Stu Stumple. Knifes his way through and then gets absolutely decked by the menace that is Rory McShaggy. Castellet coming back the other way is slowly turning to ice, and an eventful period one ends at a 1-1. 8 shots to 6, 14 hits to 10, 28 seconds on attack for us. So it's a little bit better. We, of course, can call on the power of the Mark Bench when necessary. Start making hockey commentation vids? I probably should, man. I enjoy hockey. It does get a little difficult sometime when you're like trying to play and focus and do that as well, right? Boring Dude, though. Here we go. Breaching the zone. To Stu Stumple, who gets checked by Rory McShaggy. Down low to Castellet. Brad Bird with the shots. Through traffic. Nothing. Castellet throws it to the wall. Brad Bird comes up with it. Hits McShaggy. Down low to Castellet. The shots. Nothing. Just comes up empty. Didn't even unfurl the shots. All right, stuck on a stick here. Stu Stumple going to reset the offense. Passes it up to Brad Bird. Boring Dude in the slot. Big shot there by Boring Dude. Throws it back to Brad Bird with the shots. Up to Brad Bird again with the shots. Brad Bird just coming up empty, despite great scoring opportunities. Stick breaks for Rory McShaggy there, and Kelvin Dord just knifes his way all the way through and gets a shot on goal. Those are the kind of things that concern me. Just a defensive breakdown. Kelvin Dord gets physical on the wall, and back the other way come the dirty cultists. All right, Castellet comes up with it. Good job, Castellet. Back to Brad Bird. Stu Stumple gains entry into the zone. Has to throw it early just because. And I do believe we have sustained an injury. Brad Bird banging bodies with Kelvin Dord. Throws it to Boring Dude, streaking through the neutral zone. All right, McShaggy, get it. Who's offsides? Stu Stumple is offsides, and he's hurt again. This time his feet, which is okay. Brad Bird in the slot. Big shot there. Big blast. Kelly Jelly. Setting up a human wall, and Kelly Jelly gets space because McShaggy checked his own guy. And here we go, Boring Dude. Tries to just centering pass. Nothing. These guys are tough to get any kind of momentum on. Great poke check there. Big blast there. Butcher saves it. By way of the slide, and it's on Kelvin Dord's stick. He's just getting harassed here. McShaggy comes up with it, and Brad Bird somehow comes up with it. Kelvin Dord, speed on display, though. Kelly Jelly gets mugged, and Castellet. One final opportunity. Hits a pipe. Oh, man. So, time on attack. We are dominating. Dominating. No other way to put it. But it's still a 1-1 game. 16 shots to 9. I think at certain junctures there in that last period, you saw a human wall, making it very tough for them to breach. Now, what led to that is I can't be over-eager to check, right? We got to be responsible. Feels like next goal wins, but we'll see. Their goaltender is playing out of his mind. Fighting off 15 of 16 shots. Let's go. All right, Stumple with a leg injury. It's completely fine. Stumple likes that kind of stuff. All right, McShaggy looking to gain entry into the zone. Up to Brad Bird. Over to Castellet. He's going to carry it across. And then fight off a check. Centering past to Stumple. How about that? A shot. Who's that? Stu Stumple. Stu Stumple with the goal. The go-ahead goal. That is big time. And then Bird gets dumped. Big shot there, and here we go. Brad Bird. We're down a man because, well, by way of the frost. Boring Dude on the backhand. That one's fought off. Big check there. Great stick there by Castellet. Coming through. Right through the crease. Nothing. Boring Dude. From McShaggy. Well, to McShaggy from about the blue line area. He's going to fight it off, and then we're going to set this up again. Let's go. Stu Stumple coming in. On the backhand, he really tried to will it through, there, but just missed it. Barely. Great stick there by the good guys, and back all the way up the ice goes. Brad Bird in, all alone. He's got numbers. Stu Stumple with the shots. Misses it all. That was a great scoring opportunity. It's what they call a grade A scoring opportunity. But it comes up empty. Here we go. McShaggy. Stu Stumple with the shots. And McShaggy's going to chase this one down. Butcher gets to it first, and here we go. Stumple, send it up again. Boring Dude, coming back through. He's going to fight off a Rory McShaggy check, and Brad Bird on the backhand, nothing. McShaggy dumping them. Up to Boring Dude, on the doorstep, you absolutely bet. Top right corner, accuracy on full display there by the Dude. The one they call the Dude. All right, let's go, Boring Dude. Brad Bird gains entry into the zone, fighting off checks. Brad Bird on the backhand. Right through the crease. Up to McShaggy with the shots. Stop changing me to ice, man. Get absolutely wrecked. All right, Stu Stumple with the check on Kelly Jelly. And then offsides is called. Just dumping two of our guys. Now they have numbers. Coming in. Shot by the cultist. Fought up by the butcher. Jordan, how about that? Rebound gets through off the blocker. And it's a 2-3 affair with 17 seconds left. Back to McShaggy. Up to Stu Stumple. Goes to the cross. Boring Dude with the shots. And it looks like they're going to run out of time here. You absolutely bet. Act 3. Here we come. Great showing by the squad. Uh, 29 shots to 13. So 2 goals on 13 shots. That's the type of production you can get from the cultists sometimes. They're tough. 1-5-1 on attack. So we doubled them up and then some. We had a good strategy. I think the size of our players was the difference. Lots of physicality with 24 hits apiece. Love to see it. For the power-up, we have Bouncy, Make Bounce, Crit Stacks, or Rebound... Another Rebound Magnet, really? Bouncy, Make Bounce, Crit Stacks. Each non-critical shot increases your next shot's critical chance by 5%. Resets on critical hits. Got Rebound Magnet as well. Now, will our rebounds fight one another? I think that's the question, right? Your shots always rebound off the goalie. I don't necessarily think that's bad either. Let's go, Crit Stacks. Throw it on Annual McShaggy. Absolutely. All right, let's get a strong relic here to kick off Chapter 3. Gain 30 shot power on slap shots, minus 30 otherwise. At the start of the game, freeze one of the opponent's relics. Goals scored in the last 45 seconds of the game are worth 2. If I could get this upgraded, I do believe the upgrade applies to my team only. But to the enemy team, I mean, that's scary. Let's freeze a relic. And then we have the Blade Master or a stat training, I mean. So we are upgrading our abilities with that one relic that we have. And I think we can bounce with the Tycoons with relative ease. So let's go ahead and train accuracy. Brad Bird, I mean, he's kind of been slumping by way of scoring goals. So let's give him that accuracy upgrade. We're going to need him. We need a strong forward group. We got Mark Bench sitting at 96 overall. 131, 112, 81, 52. He's our secret weapon when we need him. But the more he trains, the better he gets. I think we can rumble with the Tycoons. Let's make it happen. That was a huge beer foul. Dark Wolf still waiting for your plane ticket, huh? Well, the weather is nice, man. The weather is nice. It'd be a good time to visit the frozen north that's not so frozen right now. All right, Brad Bird. Goes it over to Boring Dude, and of course, they have this very large line that will likely give me some problems. So let's work the poke check game. Boring Dude in, all alone. On the backhand, misses. Brad Bird with the clean hum. Nothing. Hits a pipe. And back the other way comes the very large Tycoon squad. Mr. Bottom Line. They've got some funny names. This game's got a lot of character. I like this game quite a bit. You guys know that. All right, Boring Dude. Here we go. Gains entry and then gets checked into oblivion. So we got to work the poke check game against these guys. All right, the Butcher fights that one off, and it's a good thing that he did. McShaggy comes up with it, and back the other way comes Brad Bird. And Stu Stumple just gets absolutely checked into oblivion, man. Bottom line. All right, so, Boring Dude is frogged, so I can't use the poke check. Great stick there by Brad Bird, though. He's going to throw it back to the neutral zone, and McShaggy, here we go. On the backhand, can't quite light the lamp. So close. Really was. All right, Brad Bird. Stu Stumple. Scott Bird coming with him. Bird, get on the wing. No pun intended. Great poke check there, and then a pretty aggressive shots. And then Fitzpockets wins on the board, and, here we go. Backhand shots. Fought off by the Butcher. Stu Stumple just can't quite gain zone entry. It's been a challenge. Great stick there, and a big shot comes up empty. McShaggy, not even he has the sturdiness to be able to fight these guys off. Castellet gains zone entry. Stu Stumple with a big blast. How about that? Stu Stumple on the rebound. Excellent pass. Boring Dude, made it happen. It was Boring Dude who just won the fight behind the nets. I mean, he got checked into oblivion, but he threw it the last minute and just made it happen. It's called an effort play, an effort goal there by Mr. Stumple. And also Boring Dude. Great job, guys. 1-0. Good guys. Now let's see. Do they deploy the small line? Yeah. So this is the line we should be able to just, do felonious things to, I suppose. Because all of our guys are huge. They are small. Presumably faster, but let's go. Boring Dude coming in. Brad Bird. Bird on the backhand, and absolutely, you bet, has the presence in the crease to get his own rebound and just throws it in. All right, so there's an injury there, certainly. Brad Bird, though, setting it up. Castellet just gets absolutely decked, man. All right, Butcher fights that one off, and it's a good thing that he did. I know somebody's injured. I think it's Stu Stumple again. Big shot there. Brad Bird gets dumped. Back the other way. Come the Tycoons. All right, here we go. Boring Dude in all alone. He's got some space. On the backhand, tries to go wide, and then McShaggy can't quite get there to clean it up. Big rebound. All right, Sterling gains entry into the zone. Poke check, Brad Bird. Big shot there from the blue line, and nothing, and back comes Brad Bird. Just gets mugged in the neutral zone. Boring Dude tries the poke check. Juicy rebound given up by the Butcher, and that's what happens when you give up the juicy rebound. 2-1 advantage. Good guys, but too close for comfort, if you ask me. All right, so now we got the small line that we should have some success against. I believe they change lines when there's a stoppage of play or a goal. So we should have success against these guys. Big shot there, though. And a rebound given up by the Butcher. It's a scary thing in a close game. A rebound. All right, Castellet. Never mind, offsides. Didn't see it. And a big check there by McShaggy in the neutral zone. Coming in. Lots of time eaten up on our possession, which is great for us. And another injury, right? Insult 2 injury, more like. And big blast there. McShaggy puts her through the wall. And this one is all wrapped up. A 2-1 victory. Good guys. All right, good stuff. Stumple just, mounting injuries. Like, he's got a crazy amount of injuries, but that's good for him. And we got crit stacks again. We have center Bone Crusher talent. While playing as center, your defenseman gain Bone Crusher. Or the Howitzer. I mean, Bone Crusher on McShaggy wouldn't be bad. Castellet's already got it. Let's give that to Boring Dude. Game volume coming down a little bit. Done. Let me know if it's still a little too high. A Chaos upgrade for McShaggy. Unstable. Gains 60 speed. Any contact knocks you out. 30 shot power. Can't increase shot power anymore. I mean, we are nearing the end. Crack shots. Yeah, I'm completely fine with that. And then we have a wholesale team training. Probably more speed, I think. One of our greatest assets on this team. And then it's the Princess. Always a tough opponent. Always tough. When do we bring in the Mark Benchman? I mean, Castellet's sporting 132 checking and Bone Crusher, but Mark Bench with 130 checking, 149 speed. It's wild, dude. He's been on the bench this entire time. just been grinding these stats, man. And now he's like our best player. It's kind of crazy. Here we got Javi Chavez with a $10 Australian super chat. Says, yo, better late than never. Was playing tape to tape. How goes the stream? Get a W yet? Well, first off, good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. This one, of course, goes out to you. Bam. Appreciate that. We have not gotten a win yet, but this is our very first run. So, we're deep in Act 3. We're deep in Act 3. So, we're real close. So, we're going to see if we can do it. That's what we're going to do. We're going to see if we can do it. And I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, our team is really just overall, like, we're really good. We're pretty good in all areas. If you look in the top center there, right? Speed is good, accuracy is good, shot power is good, checking's good. Just broadly, we have the size, and we're just looking good, man. But the question is, do we bring in the bench now? I think we can leave him on the bench for one more and bring him out versus the golfers. But first, we have to take care of the princess. Let's go. Joan Ozark, Clementine McShaggy, Suzanne Boney, and company await us. Let's go, Boring Dude. All right, wins the face-off. Great job, Boring Dude. And then, of course, the stick throw, right? Boring Dude gains entry into the zone, though, with that speed. How about that? On the backhand. Won't be denied. Will not be denied. One shot, one goal. Good guys. All right, Boring Dude. He fades the stick throw with that speed. Now he's zipping around a little bit. Up to Brad Bird. And McShaggy. All right, we got some entry. Brad Bird just gets in a little too tight and gets checked. I'm not sure why the puck is, doing that, but it seems like the puck is. Suzanne Boney is usually their physical presence, but, you know, we are pretty darn large and in charge here, man. All right, Boring Dude. To Stumple, to Bird, who gains entry into the zone. To Stumple with the shot. Brad Bird with the shots. The physics of the puck are crazy. Joan Ozark. Wow, nice through two defenders. And then gets a shot on the Butcher. Brad Bird comes up with it, and from behind the net, finds Castellet. Over to McShaggy. Evades a stick throw, but loses the puck in the process. And then Cheksa, member of the Princess. We got Brad Bird coming in. Clementine McShaggy does have a stick on the back yet. Of course. Got to watch out for the stick throw. Sadie Playfair, you got Day. I forget her first name. But all these sticks on the ice are obstructive. They really are. All right, coming back. Brad Bird just set it up. All right, Boring Dude. Our trusty center coming in. Oh, man, he had Brad Bird. From a tight angle, Brad Bird. Rebound to Stu Stumple. Can't quite light the lamp, and Sadie Playfair gets absolutely wrecked by McShaggy. Brad Bird with some room. On the backhand, and man, that puck is just sent out of orbit. Tried to feed it up. But the goaltender rough. Holds firm. Brad Bird ends things with an aggressive check that causes an injury. And on 9 shots, we got 1 goal. I think their goaltender is playing very, very well, but, you know, if they just have 3 seconds on attack, we're going to be just fine in this one. So here we go. Boring Dude. Castellet. Watch out for the stick throw. That can send the puck back the other way. Brad Bird. Stu Stumple. And the trajectory of that puck just way offline. But McShaggy comes up with it. Hits Boring Dude. A streaking Brad Bird. And here we go. Brad Bird knifing through. Boring Dude with the shot. Great scoring opportunity. Joan Ozark gets wrecked. Back the other way comes Sadie Playfair and company. Boring Dude takes care of that. And here we go. Brad Bird with the shot. And look at that puck, man. It's way offline. Butcher gets it. McShaggy gets hit by a stick throw, and here we go. Boring Dude. Can't gain the zone. Just can't gain it. Castellet. He's going to throw it down. Got Brad Bird. Just evading stick throws and everything. A Boring Dude. He's going to hit Brad Bird. Good angle there, but hits piece of lumber, and back the other way come the Princess. Never mind. It's secured in the neutral zone by McShaggy. And Castellet comes up with it. Stu Stumple. Fighting off checks, but can't quite maintain possession of the puck in the zone. But great stick there by Castellet. He's been doing it all run long. Just the human wall, or whatever you want to call him. Brad Bird with a great shot from the slots. Nothing. And Sadie Playfair back the other way. Suzanne Boney with the pass. And then a shot from pretty much the half wall by the blue line. Probably not the best area to score from. Sue Stumple fights off a check and then throws the puck into some lumber on the ice, man. There is a lot of lumber on the ice. McShaggy really needed to make that check there, and great poke check again by Mr. Castellet. He's just been so defensive-minded. Boring dude, here we go. In all alone. From a tight angle, and of course the puck is just sent way offline. Clementine McShaggy had some speed. I'm not sure why she chose to pass there. Had some speed and a breakaway. Boring dude with the blast. It looks like we're going to win a 1-0 defensive. Just grind. Great early goal was all it took. Game winner. And you'll love to see it. Bring on the golfers. Looks like Stu Stumple gets healed up. At the wrong time, I guess you could argue. But 13 shots is all it took. 1 goal is all that was needed. And 56 seconds on attack compared to 15 domination. All right, so part of the play, the referee will try to block the opponent's shots. That's funny to me. Center position gets plus 20 overall. Yeah, we're taking that. All right, so Mark Bench gets another plus 8 overall. Masochist upgraded to level 2 for Stu Stumple. We have a Blade Master. Let's figure out what we're going to do, because we want to work in Mr. Bench. He's got 116 overall, which is crazy. I mean, he's a viable checker. I think, yeah, probably work him in. Stu Stumple, 61-47. Castellet with 98 speed. 115 for Stu Stumple. We've got a lot of speed on this team. Stumple's going to get... Yeah, so he's got plus 20 speed. I think you probably bench Castellet, and you move Bench, and you put him next to McShaggy on the blue line. Bench, it's your time to shine here, brother. Let's go. Let's get into the Blade Master. So Gigantism up. We could have a completely XL team. Yep, that's what we're going to do. Everybody is XL now. Wow. Okay, so this run got a little crazy, man. Let's see if we can take it across the finish line. We got our squad, the Chell squad versus the Golfers. Let's see if we can get it done. Let's go. Yep, we got to lock in. Lock in. All right, so Pam, Pumpernickel, and a Boring Dude take the opening draw on the fairway. And here comes Brad Bird. Got to watch out for the stick throws. Seems like we're a little too fast forward. And Angus McShaggy with the early shot. Coming back. Pam Pumpernickel gets sent into the Shadow Realm. And a great stick there. How about this? Brad Bird coming up with it on the backhand. Rejected. Brad Bird in nice and tight in the crease. Stu Stumple tries to set him up for a one-time or nothing. Back the other way comes Putson, who just gets sent to the Shadow Realm. Pam Pumpernickel again. Was that Mary Gilman? Whoever it is. We got Mark Bench here. Man, is he fast. Look at him. Look at him go. Almost set up his own goal. Playing a little hero golf, I guess. Looks like Boring Dude is injured. All right, here we go. McShaggy fighting along the boards for it, and then gets hit by a stick throw. And coming back the other way is Pam Pumpernickel and company. Boring Dude has lost his ability to check. Not good. Brad Bird comes up with it, though. Offsides helps us out. And here we go. Brad Bird on the backhand. That one gets through, but doesn't quite find the back of the net. Pumpernickel. Brad Bird. Not often you get a low-scoring affair against the Golfers. But things seem to have settled down just a little bit as we have our very large players. And here we go, McShaggy coming in. He's got some space to operate on the backhand. Nothing, and back the other way come the Golfers. Great aggressive check there by McShaggy. And he gets hit by a stick throw. Brad Bird can't come up with it. Mark Bench. Mark Bench, just check her, man. Great check there by Mark Bench. The Butcher falls on it. And here we go. Evading stick throws in the neutral zone. Brad Bird. Mark Bench comes up with it. And it's a good thing that he did because they had some space. They had some daylight for sure. Good job by Mark Bench, throwing that body. Evading stick throws, gets hit by one, but dumps it off to McShaggy first. He's got Brad Bird. Big shot there by Brad Bird. Glove save by the goaltender. Man, there's just so many sticks on the ice. You can't skate over them. And the puck, or the golf ball in this case, doesn't go through them either. 7 shots to 4, a defensive battle here against the golfers. This is kind of crazy. Let's lock in. Let's go. Hey, we got Pookie Bear in the house. What's up, Pookie Bear? Good to see you, man. Dropping by to say hello. Hope all is well. All is going great, man. All is going great. I hope you're doing well, too, man. Good to see you, buddy. All right, here we go. Stu Stumple. Boring dude with the shot in the slots. The sandy slot area. Mark Bench just throwing that body. Part of the solution is physical enough to win on the boards. And Boring Dude coming back. The Stu Stumple in the slots. Registers the first goal. Stumple. Just been doing it all round long, man. I'd be curious to see the final statistics of everybody. But Stumple's got to be up there by way of goal scoring. Brad Bird coming through. Looking for an option. Tries to find Boring Dude. Not really a great angle. And McShaggy gets it, but then gets, decked by the offsides. And here comes Mark Bench. Evading the stick throw. Has Boring Dude in the slot. Great shots. Well, not really the slot, more like the circle area, but whatever. You guys know what I mean. All right, Stumple. Decks him. Bench comes up with it, and back the other way comes Bench. Succumbs to the stick throw. And McShaggy in, all alone. On the backhand. Rebound given up. Brad Bird. Just can't possess the puck. That's the problem. Mark Bench. From his defensive zone coming back is the McShags. Here we go. McShaggy. Must have hit a stick. Stu Stumple. Oh man, had Boring Dude for the one-timer. But of course the sand trap creates all kinds of problems. We might want to add Castellet for Boring Dude. Maybe. Boring Dude. Knifing through. Looking for a passing partner. Stu Stumple right in the slot. Just wide open. Good shot to take. McShaggy comes up with it. And double stick throw. The Butcher fights that one off. Great deal of chaos here. Puck is lost in the defensive zone. Not a good spot for it. Lots of craziness happening. All right, McShaggy. Big blast there in tights on a Driver, the goaltender. And Offsides procs off. We got to reset. We have to reset here, boys. Stay responsible. Let's keep passing it. Mark Bench from a tight angle. Blocker save. Mark Bench with another shot. And his superior attributes. Stumple in tights. Mark Bench. Gets it down low. Sand trap causing all kinds of problems. Mobility problems for the ball. And we're just mugging them. I mean, great defense on display here. Stick throw and all. Brad Bird gets hit by a couple of twigs. But period number 2 ends with the game's first goal. Registered, of course, by Mr. Stu Stumple. Not Boring Dude. He's hurt. He sports great speed and scoring statistics. Do we want him in for Castellet? I mean, 139 checking. Could always move Bench to the forward group. I mean, this is what we've been rocking with. It's what we've been rocking with. It's tough to take him out. 137 speed to 98. That's a pretty big reduction. Do you maybe take out Brad Bird? Take out Brad Bird for Castellet. I need more physicality. I need my guys, every single one of them being able to check. And let's go. Final frame, third period, in a 1-0 advantage. Stu Stumple coming in. Big shot there. Another shot by Stu Stumple. Mark Bench with a critical blast. Right on the doorstep is rejected. Castellet. Bench gets it and then is hit by a stick throw. Mark Bench with an aggressive check. Love to see that. And then Mark Bench in the neutral zone. Coming with a lot of speed. On the backhand, lights the lamp. You absolutely bet. Mark Bench, my man. It's a huge insurance goal against the very dangerous golfer squad. And you see what they're capable of. Pam Pumpernickel has the lead. All right, back to McShaggy. He tries to fight off a stick throw. Obviously, doesn't always go so well. Really doesn't. Boring dude. Coming with a great deal of speed. In tight, glove save driver. All right, great stick there by Stu Stumple. The unsung hero of this run is the Stumple. Although we've been singing his praise. All right, great body there by McShaggy. He's just going to slow it down a little bit. Hits Mark Bench, who's got all kinds of space. Boring dude tries to gain the zone. Can't quite do it. Bench checks a couple of golfers in his pursuit of the zone, and here we go. Boring dude gets checked into oblivion. Stumple throwing the body. Pumpernickel fighting off checks. Unfurls a shot on the Butcher. And then a great scoring opportunity there. Who's that? Mary Gilman? Putson? One of them. Castellet gets hit by a stick throw. But Boring dude comes up with it. Mark Bench right on the doorstep. Critical shots is unfurled. Of course, he's got his 20% critical shot boost. And Pam Pumpernickel in all alone. Poke check by Boring dude. Saves a grade A scoring opportunity, and Mark Bench coming back the other way. Knifing through lumber on the ice, and nothing. Great stick there by Stu Stumple. And Castellet. They used to only throw their stick. Mark Bench in tights. You absolutely bet Mark Bench. Absolutely. You love to see that one. It's big time. That is a big time goal by a big time player who's been sitting on the bench all run long. Let's go, Mark Bench. How about another one? Get hungry. Mark Bench with the interception. Mr. Do-It-All is doing it all. And this one is going to wrap up here, friends. A 3-1 affair, maybe 4-1. A 3-1 affair and a run ender. You absolutely love to see it. Bam. That's right. Victory, good guys. With the Chell squad. 25 shots to 9, 35 hits to 48. So they out-hit us. We out-attacked them. And I'm very, very curious to see the final stats. So let's take a look. Stu Stumple is indeed the goal leader. How about that? 8 goals, 7 for Boring Dude, 7 for Brad Bird. McShaggy didn't even score a single goal in this, believe it or not. We did it without McShaggy scoring a single goal. That's crazy. But he had 7 assists. Mark Bench with 2 goals against the Golfers. Pretty crazy. Bobby Butcher, right? The Butcher, often the unsung hero with a .923 save percentage. Absolutely fantastic. And only 5 goals against all run long. In fact, in Act 1, we didn't even let up a goal against. Which is crazy. First goal came, of course, the Prince. The Cultists gave us a run for our money a bit. The Tycoons scored a goal. And then you have the Golfers. Of course, you know, they can score goals in bunches. Pretty crazy. A couple of highlighted stats here. Mark Bench sat on the bench all run long and 157 speed, 97 accuracy, 68 shot power, a 20% critical chance, and then 138 checking as an XL player. I mean, that's impressive, but MVP's got to go to Stumple. He scored the big goals when we needed them, and our starters, he was the lowest overall. It's pretty crazy. Mr. Stumple, you love to see it. Fantastic.